When you think of the man who conquered Constantinople, what comes to mind? A fierce warrior, a brilliant military strategist. Well, that's all true. But Mehmed II, the Conqueror, was so much more complex than that. What if I told you he was also a true Renaissance man, a scholar who could have held his own in the courts of Florence or Venice? Let's start with his mind. Mehmed wasn't just a ruler. He was an intellectual powerhouse. He was reportedly fluent in an astonishing 7 languages. Imagine the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire effortlessly switching between Turkish, Arabic, Persian, Latin, Greek, and Italian. This wasn't just a hobby. It was a tool that gave him direct access to the knowledge and culture of both the East and the West, making him one of the most well-read and worldly leaders of his time. He didn't just read books. He collected them passionately. Mehmed established a massive library in his palace, filled with priceless manuscripts from across the known world. He didn't discriminate. Alongside Islamic scholarship, he actively sought out ancient Greek and Latin texts, studying the wisdom of the very civilizations he was often at war with. He invited scholars, artists, and humanists from both the Islamic world and Europe to his court, turning Istanbul into a vibrant hub of intellectual exchange. Perhaps the most stunning example of his Renaissance spirit is a painting. In 1479, he did something almost unheard of for an Ottoman Sultan, who traditionally avoided figurative portraits. He invited the famous Venetian painter, Gentile Bellini, to his court. The task: to paint his official portrait. This iconic painting, now hanging in London's National Gallery, shows a thoughtful, refined ruler portrayed in a distinctly European style. It's a bold statement, a sultan embracing the art of the Renaissance, signaling his place as a man of global culture. And finally, a fascinating story that shows how deeply he was immersed in classical history. It's said that after one of his campaigns in Greece, Mehmed visited the ruins of ancient Troy. Standing on that legendary ground, he remarked that he had finally avenged the Trojans by conquering their ancient Greek rivals. Think about that. The Ottoman Sultan saw himself as the heir to the legacy of Troy, a story from 1,000 years before his time. So, the next time you hear the name, Mehmed the Conqueror, remember the full picture. The warrior, yes, but also the polyglot scholar, the patron of the arts, and the Renaissance prince who ruled with a sultan's power. A man who truly bridged worlds. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this glimpse into history, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.